Welcome to episode 148 of Fourth and John. I am Gail Saunders here with Hollywood Hearn and Jimmy Smith. We're a little geeked out. I mean, we got a dub. It was ugly. Yes, it was ugly. Not everything in life is perfect. Not everything is wrapped up with a nice little bow. You know, a present is a present. Like, maybe this present was covered in shit, but guys, we got
There's still a president side.
4-1, and we're about to have some fun this week. I know. I mean, I've seen the comments I've seen out there. Eagle fans, look, I mean, we should have lost this one. I wish we would have lost this one. So we can.
You're not real fans.
Like, come on, man. Are you a real fan? Like, bruh, we're trying. Like, I was to the point where I was on my last leg, and I said I need need a dub for my mentals. Like, I seriously. Heart of hearts, if I caught an L and had to go another week, I don't know where I would be at mentally. But we got the dub. It wasn't pretty, but we're on the road to victory, hopefully. Evan, how are you feeling, my friend?
Dude, I am about to have a heart attack. I really thought we were going to let that one slip away from us. Go and we were down 21-10 in the fourth quarter. Not much time left, and for them to be able to string those two drives together, there's definitely some things we need to talk about in regards to coaching decisions. Carson Wentz isn't the only one that is taking too long to get rid of something here. You know, the challenge that could have ended that could be the conversation we'd be having right now if, the Eagles didn't end up winning that game. Jake Elliott, that's just another basket case. There's the dirty hit on Deshaun Jackson, which no one's going to talk me off of that hill that was a dirty hit. That was about as dirty as they come. And but a win is a win, guys. A win is a win. Momentarily, top of the division, march towards the playoffs.
Jimmy, how are you feeling, man? Welcome to the show.
Yeah, thank you for having me. I feel pretty awesome, but pretty spent at the same time. You know that I was pretty riled up before the game and during the game, losing my mind. And 21-10, I was with you. I was like, do we suck this bad? I know the line. I was like, Carson, come on, dude. And things started coming around. And, oh, my God, I was watching it. I had my kid up and having him and having my woman with me. And, you always say it, we're going to come back, right? And I'm like, yeah, we're coming back. And I'm like thinking like, holy, don't do this to me. So I'm at peace. But yes, I'm with Evan. I think I'm going to have a heart attack here soon.
But think about it this way, guys. We got the win out of the way, and now we get to have a full Sunday and Monday full of stress-free football. We just get to watch some games and enjoy them. It's fantastic.
10 days talking crap.
Oh, 10 days. I'm sorry.
Oh yeah, I'm just saying. Hell yeah, let's keep talking crap.
Man, I needed. I'm gonna be right. Yeah, I need a break after that one. I need a little break. We just need some space. You do you. We're still in this relationship. I just need my space. I need to take a little time for myself, get myself back on track, and then we'll be doing this football next following Sunday. But yeah, I mean, if we're gonna be real, the play calling was. I mentioned on Twitter it was butt ass. The play calling was just very questionable. The 2-point conversion thing with Doug right now, it's way out of pocket, way out of hand. Carson Wentz, yes. I've talked about Carson Wentz, Captain Save-A-Bro version of Carson Wentz. That's a gift and a curse. Carson Wentz Save-A-Bro can either break out this amazing play that you're like, wow, or the other flip side of Save-A-Bro is doing too much and putting the ball in the wrong place at the wrong time and just not making right football decisions. We have to sit down with Carson after this game as a coaching staff and say, Carson, look, throwing across your body 30 feet to the other side of the football field is not a good thing.
He dropped back way back on that play as well. Like I had thoughts of that Joe Flacco 28-yard sack. He just kept on running backwards. I'm like, God damn.
I mean, throwing the ball up where you're in field goal range, when you can throw the ball out of bounds, not a good thing. When you're going down, getting tackled by 3 linemen on your back, flipping the ball to another, just throw the ball away, take the sack, do what you got to do. This is about putting your team in the best positions to win, and it starts with Doug Peterson. Then it starts with Carson Wentz. Do you guys? Were you guys? I mean, I saw a lot of it on the timeline tonight. A lot of people were questioning some of his decisions with the ball and the play calling for Doug.
Jimmy,
I think I'm always questioning Doug's play calling anymore, for the most part. But with Carson, oh my God, it's so true. It's like Dr. Jekyll, Mr. Hyde, and it's kind of like you live by the sword, die by the sword thing, where he has these great plays where he goes out and makes all this stuff happen, and then he holds on to it too long and makes bad things happen. So he kind of reminds me of Brett Favre in that essence, where, I mean, like I said, you live by the sword, you die. Like, if he's going to go out, I want him to be that guy, but it scares me. It's like, this is his 5th year, and he's still this turnover machine, and that scares me. And also not throwing the ball away, like you said. So I'm a little concerned, but he's still amazing. Like, I still think he is an elite quarterback, but that's why I'm saying Brett Favre. Like, I just he's so confusing.
The wide range of the ability of play that we see in just one game with Carson Wentz is really like something to think about. We see the really good, the really, really good, and the really bad. And like, that's just what Carson Wentz's game has been this entire year, it feels like.
But is it the fact that he had 6 different starting lines?
That's without a doubt a factor in it. And another like layer that I want to add into that, guys, the more and more I see Jalen Hurts on the field, the less and less I feel confident in him. I really don't see, like, I didn't like the idea of trying to bring in a Taysom Hill on steroids. I don't like that aspect of, I think it's really gimmicky what the Saints are doing down there. And honestly, Jalen Hurts, like, he has had, like, his speed is there. That's obvious. He can make some people miss, but he still is he's green. He's got a lot of development that he needs to work on his own. And I just think that, like, all the people that are, so trigger happy with the thought of Carson Wentz, like, this dude is coming up clutch. And the thoughts of Jalen Hurts, I'm not nearly as confident with Jalen Hurts taking the ball as I am with Carson.
Yeah, I mean, you were mentioning about like the linemen. Granted, the linemen were having some trouble up front, and then the blocking by the running backs was a little off as well.
Mm-hmm.
But there's football decisions where you throwing the ball away is a good thing. That's fine. That's fine. And for his safety purposes, he's got to just know when to throw them away.
Oh, yeah.
Or you know what I'm talking about. I was trying to make something creative with Fulgham, but Doug has to know when to Fulgham.
Yeah. If we could talk about something positive after this win as well. First of all, hello, Mal. And secondly,
yo.
Malcolm, the podcast. How are you, sir?
What's goody, man? I just popped in for 2 seconds, yo, just because, I've been kind of a big detractor of the Eagles lately, but that was a heck of a win by Wentz, yo.
Yeah.
Like, crazy dimes to win that game, man. Got to show respect for that, for sure.
How do you guys feel about having, like, each week with Travis Fulgham, man? Like, is he a legit player or what? Like, I'm sold. I'm completely sold. He is a legit awesome wide receiver.
Now, Mal, Mal, you talked about that dime. Here we go.
It's a little bit tougher. Wentz throws, pass is caught. Touchdown, Boston Scott.
And this guy, as small as he is,
he's a giant killer.
Coming up big, man.
And did you see the double spin as well? He had another double spin. 720.
When Gail said he did the 720, I want to shout out my wife real quick. So every time she watched a Giants game, the Giants lose, legitimately, she came down the first drive when they threw the deep shot and like stayed for the rest of the game. And so when the game was over, she was like, "You welcome." So shout out to my wife, man. She's a
the
Giants
reason.
fan, but she is the Giant killer herself, bro. I'm
Nice.
just glad that they pulled that out somehow, yo.
She's the mush.
Yeah. Well, I mean, speaking of Giant killer, we had one of our mans up in the stands.
Enemy at the crossroads.
Yo, it took Daniel Jones, bro. Like, what's up with the handshake? He had could have had one of the longest touchdowns in Giant history.
I saw it too. He got the as people that I'm a snowboarder myself, skateboarder as well. It's called speed wobbles. I saw him, man. He started to get a little bit wobbly. I was like, dude, he's gonna go down. He wasn't able to maintain that balance.
Yeah, he used to breaking big ones, man. I was laughing my ass off.
They said he hit 21 miles an hour though.
They
man.
did.
He was cooking. He was cooking.
Yeah, what was they? It was the fastest QB since 2018, which is crazy.
Yeah, what the
He
hell?
was moving.
With Lamar Jackson been playing, he ran faster than Lamar Jackson's run any of these games.
That was his 40-yard dash, and as you can see, that was all over after 40. So
he's only good for the 40 yards.
That was 80, but
But you know, I feel like Fulgham is legit. Like Chris just said. Also, Rager coming back gets me excited. You know, I think that first D-Jax going down is sad. Like, you know, been a big D-Jax fan for a long time. To see him go out like that, and just the past few years of his career just kind of been mired in injury, which isn't surprising because he's a slight, you know, dude. He's not a big receiver, but you know, it's tough to see somebody that brings so much passion to the game and has matured a lot outside of like the statement that he made in the offseason. You know, you see a very different, more mature DeSean Jackson now, and so you know, to lose him. But Fulgham seems legit, you know, how we found one with him. Let's see what happens with like a contract extension, you know what I mean, and seeing what the money looks like. But I'm excited to see Rager come back. You know, I know that's Malley's dude. I know Gail, that's your homie. But like he could be a huge dimension. Shout outs to Richard Rodgers too, yo. You know what I mean?
Coming
like,
up big dick Rod.
I can't never call him
I
that. You know what I mean?
I knew you were gonna say that.
I can't call him that. But shouts out to Rodgers, man. You know, he made some hellacious plays and catches, like run after the catch. Like, you know, last week made some tough catches too. Has really contributed to the offense in a way that outside of Goddard, like really wasn't happening at the tight end spot. I was hoping that it would be Hakeem Butler season. I don't know what the hell that play was on 4th down in the red zone. Let's never run that shit again.
Could have been
For real. Like that's the guy that it's designed to go to is Hakeem Butler on that play.
Right.
I don't get that, and that's where we get back to Doug Peterson, man. Like that was question marks all over.
He was wide open. Like if you go back and watch the play, Wentz waited for the motion for the back to come behind them before he snapped it. But Hakeem Butler was wide open. The Giants didn't even line up in front of him initially.
Yeah.
Now, should this be the mood? Like, I mean, a lot of fans are up and down, some in the middle. Jeremy, guys, we are in first place after the bye week. We have Jalen Rager back. We have Miles Sanders back. We have Dallas Goedert back. They say we have a tough schedule, but the people we get back for, it's great. Since we go into the playoffs. I don't know. I mean, another person. Should we ask our guy Prime, who was at the game?
Hey, Prime, what up?
Prime, are we going to the playoffs? Jeremy wants to know.
Don't put me on the spot.
Are you picking up your Nate Gary jersey on the way home? He had a
Yo, did you see my boy got the sack though?
He got burned too.
So how was the experience down at the link?
Well, it was very weird. As you guys can see the link in the background, it was very weird being in there with barely any people. The atmosphere for the 3 quarters. I mean, that first drive, listen, man, I was out of my seat. I was like, okay, it's coming back to me. But then after that, everything just died. Offense couldn't get their shit together. Carson started looking like shit. Play calling was terrible. Defense, I don't know. And then we're just sitting there watching these Giants fans surround us, talking shit throughout the game, flapping their hands, like, you know what I mean, mocking us. The soul was taken out of all 3 of us. It was me, JT, E. And then that drive that came in the fourth quarter, that at the end and with 4 minutes plus left, then they ended up getting the ball back to go ahead and get that winning drive. Oh man, those Giants fans were hating me. I gave it to them all. I gave it to them all. They started leaving. The soul that came out of me jumped back in and got out of them. It was crazy. But other than that, I mean, right now, just coming back to the car is still weird. No traffic. Nobody's out here.
Those cardboard cutouts aren't lined up.
The cardboard cutouts were a little bit entertaining, but then they only had them in certain sections. I thought they had them throughout the whole field, the whole stadium, but that's not even the case over there neither.
Yeah.
Prom, I see you got the Cuban links on, bro. I see you out there shining, bro.
Well, yeah, I brought the prime back out there.
Oh wow! And we finally got a dub with it.
Yeah, I got the prime back out. So, you know what I mean, I had to do that thing tonight.
Man, we were a little concerned, man. We were seeing our homies at the game. We're like, but I'm glad everyone's good. Was it a weird experience with everyone being socially distant?
No, the social distancing was good. It was handled. Everybody had to wear their mask. Even like when we started celebrating and giving high fives, everybody just had a good time and was like enjoying it, giving air high fives. You know what I mean? Like it was. Everybody was cool. You know, we respected each other's space and all that stuff. And
what's up, John?
When we left out of there. Again, the whole social distancing was handled pretty well.
Nice.
Now, I mean, if we're gonna think about the elephant in the room, like if the one thing that we could talk about today that people are, you know, is it Doug's play calling?
Oh God,
everyone feeling a certain way.
Yep.
Yeah, it's been.
So, I mean, you got shout out to Michael. He says Doug was terrible tonight.
Terrible, bro.
I got people in my DMs too that are like going way overboard with it, saying that we need to fire Doug. That's absolutely.
I'm trying to fire Doug, bro. Get him out of here,
no, stop, bro. You can't.
Facebook says I'm done with Dougie and
no. We can totally talk about the fact how like Doug Peterson's play calling has been completely suspect, but I'm not ready to move on from Doug Peterson at this point.
I think it's partly play calling for me, but also the fact that like he keeps Schwartz around. His just complete unwillingness to move on with a real offensive coordinator that could potentially play call. I think that, you know, his just seems like just hard-headedness and stubbornness, which is really, you know, when I'm saying fire Doug, that's really out of just the emotions of watching that game. You know, I like Doug Peterson. I think that he brings something to the table that, you know, plenty of other teams wish that they had, but I need to see more out of him in regards to his flexibility and in-game planning. And like the same thing we saw with Andy Reid through the Andy Reid era, right? It was like in certain situations, Reid got out-coached. In clutch situations, he didn't come up where we needed him to. Went to Kansas City and like he's made that change. But Doug Peterson, man, you know, for the past like year or so, questionable around some of the decisions that he's made both in game and then also the people that he brings onto the team as coaches.
So I agree with both of you guys. When it comes to that. But my thing is, no, we shouldn't get rid of Doug, but he needs an offensive coordinator. Straight up.
Yeah, I mean,
OC.
Yeah, definitely.
That to me seems obvious. I mean, it's just the play calling's been so vanilla, and like it's so like these runs up the middle on like a fourth down. Like everybody sees it coming, man. Like I don't understand why there's no creativity in the biggest moments. Like that to me is what is really. And it's obvious to me as well. Everyone's talking about Jake Elliott in the comments. It's obvious to me he has zero confidence in Jake Elliott. He wants to keep Jake Elliott off the field at all costs.
Now Jonas on Facebook says, "Yo, do y'all think we going to get who do you think we're all going to get at the trade deadline?" And one of the scenarios that I thought that made perfect sense. I mean, tell me if you guys agree. I mean, you trade for Kamu Grugier Hill, and you get a linebacker and a kicker. You know,
killing two birds with one stone right there, man.
No pun intended. It's just at a point where we've talked about Jake Elliott in the past weeks, and it was one of those conversations. Now we're moving on to the next week. Here we are. Fipp mentioned it. He's like, I'm no concerns about, he's kind of right where he's at. He's missing some 50 yarders. That's where he's kind of like, he's usually got the 50 yarders. He misses that in between like 40 to like 30 something range. And tonight was what, 29 yarder?
Yep.
Yeah.
And you can see it in his face. I don't know if it's the he's feeling it vibe.
He's feeling it.
If you were an Eagle player and you were on social media, would you be searching your name?
Or are you talking about Jake Elliott specifically, or are you talking about anyone in this roster?
Well, I mean, specifically Jake Elliott.
No.
Yeah, no, I would not be. Jake Elliott definitely. There's not much fan mail that's coming in. It's all a lot of hate, and like kickers to me are so weird, dude. Because like it seems like they can have great careers. Jake Elliott's obviously. I mean, he was a huge component in the Super Bowl season, but like once they get in their own head, it seems like they're just done. They get in this like get kicked out of their vibe, and then they're useless.
Yeah, I mean, there's just no way that you're cutting. Like people will say, "Oh man, maybe we should just cut Jake Elliott and get a new kicker." Newsflash, folks. Look under 2020.
Yo.
His dead cap is $7 million.
Almost 8.
7.9 million. Okay, so please. We can end that conversation. So obviously, with them bringing in a kicker, something's up. We'll see. Being a kicker is a mental game, though.
Totally is. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, did you see Doug's face after he missed? Like, it's definitely Jake Elliott, but it's also looking at some of the faces of like the coaches and players. Like, you could see that even they're kind of on the borderline of if they believe that he can do it. And like you said. Like Jake Elliott has made some clutch kicks for us.
Yeah.
But he's missed some like gimme shots too. And so it's like, at what point, yeah, exactly. Like you gotta be more consistent.
Well, the sad part being at the stadium and then him coming up to go ahead and try to make that 29-yard field goal attempt. An advertisement showed up on the board, Sportsbet. And what was funny is that once that popped up, I said, wow, this is like the perfect advertisement. Is he going to make it? Is he going to miss it? And the guys looked at me like, why would you even say that? And I'm like, Jake hasn't been on point. And the next thing you know, he misses the goddamn field goal.
Yeah. And if you just think about that field goal and you think about the end of the game, that would have been all the difference in our heart palpitations that we were having.
Yeah, well, that would have been the difference in.
That would have been the points we needed. Yeah,
quite a bit of these games that we've had. You know what I mean? Yeah. So it's sad.
Now, are we feeling this energy here as a group?
Yeah.
Listen, I'm gonna ride this one out.
I've been saying it since the beginning of the season.
Yeah, I'm with you.
I was surprised. Surprised they didn't make a move for Jim Caldwell, man.
I think we've all kind of been feeling that way. Bringing in Chris Malley and JT that were at as well.
Yo, what's up, boys?
What's up?
Yo.
Reporting live from the Thunderdome.
In 1 mile, turn right.
Yo, yeah, literally, yeah. We just left E Prime and a couple of Twitter friends. I mean, it was bleak in there, man. Like third and fourth quarter, like people were going outside. We had Giants fans doing the bird flap in front of us. And then good old 11, man, took care of it. Boston Scott, man. Like, they went away from him a lot of the game, and then he just came up. Really was like a 2017 moment with the Wentz to Clement throw. Like, it was a great play. I mean, that's when we were talking about on the way back. Like, Wentz made some bad decisions, and he hasn't gotten away from that, unfortunately, in his career. But in his whole career, he's always had that play or a couple plays that really allow him and the game, and the team to get in the position to win. I mean, he trusted Hightower with that bomb at the end of the game, and Deshaun, his sacrifice wasn't for nothing because they ended up pulling the game out after the penalty and the injury. So, I mean, what are you guys talking about right now?
I mean,
now we're talking about kickers.
Yeah.
We're talking about Jake Elliott, bro.
Rough.
Again, like we have to sit here like and get back to the reality that we did win a football game. This has been a vibe where another comment. Travis he said this win means nothing. I mean, again, it might not mean anything to you, but it might mean a whole lot to the players in that locker room. Like young players who are a part of this progression. Obviously, we're not on the team. Obviously, we as fans can feel any type of way. I'm not saying that you can't feel that way. I'm just saying that to make it make sense for the players in the locker room, it means a lot. Getting a win in the NFL is tough, and they got one.
And looking forward, I mean, we've got 10 days until we've got the Cowboys, who have been playing absolutely awful. They lost Dak Prescott, and then we got the Giants again. We could be 500 by the end of these next two games.
And to your point, Gail, and Mally, what up, man? It's been a minute, bro. But Gail, to your point, that's a big win for Carson Wentz. You know what I mean? Like, that's a dude that's taking a lot of heat nationally, locally. And so, like, that's a big win, those last two drives, and definitely that pass to Scott. And I like what Mally said about it being similar to the Clemens throw. It's like, that's a hell of a throw. Like, Peppers was step for step with that dude, and he's throwing to a dude that's shorter than him. Like that, there was very little space for him to make that toss, and so I feel like that's a big win for Carson Wentz. He gets to breathe a little easier. There's no Carson Wentz slander this week, and so, I don't think that this is a very good football team. I think we could kind of agree on that, but that's a hell of a win, and like you said, the NFL is hard to win in, yo. So every win counts for realistically.
I don't know if Wentz completely escapes like any sort of criticism this week, though, because to me, like he pulled out a clutch win, no doubt. He did everything he needed to do in the fourth quarter, but ultimately the turnover problem is still there.
Oh, for sure.
It's 100% still there. It's been a glaring issue all year long, and it's showing no signs of going away. So to me, I mean, we got away with one tonight, but we're not always going to get away with one. We need to tighten these games up.
We talk about that one turnover we see from Carson Wentz every game. There's at least one. You can expect it, but you just don't know when it's going to rear its ugly head. So I feel like, obviously he's got to get his act together. But, again, man, he got this dub. In Carson, we're just waiting for that perfect game from Carson, honestly. But, yeah, I mean, we're 2-4-1. That sounds better than 1-4-1, correct?
Yeah, sure as hell does.
It sounds better than 1-5-1.
Going around the room, Jimmy, do you expect a dub next week?
Yes, and I think 10 days of rest is going to be something that is going to help us immensely because we're banged up, and we're waiting for great games from Carson. But I think he has been doing great. He has struggled, yes, and his decision making still is a struggle. And after 5 years, that's a little concerning. But I think that this offensive line needs to get healthy. So in 10 days, let's hope that Lane is healthy and some other guys can come back because him running for his life is not good. We're finding diamonds in the rough with the receivers, thank God. Richard Rodgers turning it on there, thank God. Mal had mentioned, Hakeem Butler being open there. He's, whether Carson throws it bad or he's got to go up and get it, there's pass interference. Logan Ryan was late to it. You got to make that play. So, I hope this team can build on some things. Miles Sanders come back. I think we could beat the Cowboys next week for sure.
Mal, how you feeling about next week versus Cowboys getting this dub?
Yeah, I mean, Andy Dalton is trash. Andy Dalton's been trash for a long time, so I feel like it's a win. Yeah, I feel like it's a win. I don't know that Carson ever plays that perfect game. I think that Carson doesn't have to be perfect. He just has to manage games better and be more consistent for 4 quarters. But, this is a hurt team. He's lost several of his key playmakers on the offense. The defense came up big. I think the defense will come up big again next week.
Prime. I know your brother's a Cowboys fan, a stinking Cowboys fan, who will be big in the household. Getting
Yeah, so I always look forward to this game every year. But I definitely agree with Jimmy and Maul. Carson does still make his mistakes here and there, but bro, being at that game today, you see it for yourself. That line put him in so many positions, like so many bad positions. It was ridiculous. Like Mulata was getting beat so bad, and then Carson was like running for his life, but he ended up juking, a few defenders to still keep the play going, and then he made some plays. So, I mean, hey, I'm riding it out with Carson, man. You know what I mean? Like Carson's still, the hope for this team, but with these 10 days, these guys come back healthy. You know what I mean? Yeah, I don't say we're going to have a perfect game from Carson, but his games are going to get better with a full healthy crew.
Now is this true? The word on the street is shout out to E. He says Prime's trying to fight Giants fans in the stands. Is that true?
I wasn't trying. So the story was again, me and JT were there. We're dealing with all these Giants fans just like mocking us. So I told them both. I said, when we
Prime got sprint, guys.
I thought it was me. It's usually me.
Get this.
I mean, the bottom line.
He would step across the line. Habitually. He's a habitual line stepper.
That's the gist of it.
Prime is doing his all right now, but it's
Throw me a freaking bone here.
you're coming in and out. That's what she said. But yeah, we're happy you're back in one piece, my friend, and that your phone is not acting up right now.
Yeah, I'm good.
If you can hear us.
Yo, when I lived in Jersey, bro, Giants fans ain't about that smoke like that, man. Philly fans much tougher than Giants fans all day, every day, bro.
But they're always talking, aren't they? Dude,
that's all they do.
Worst. They are.
That's
I always say that the Cowboys are bad, but there's Giants fans, man. They are annoying as shit.
That's all they know how to do.
I mean, speaking of Texas, our guy Puga chiming in. Got to beat Dallas. I know this is big for Puga because that's in his home state, and he has to, as one of the only Eagle fans in the area, he's got to stick up for his team.
Yeah.
D-Jax. I mean, it's
a shame because I really.
Does anybody know what the injury is?
No prognosis yet.
It looks like his knee. It's really a shame. It looks like an ACL, to be honest with you.
Yeah, it looks like an ACL.
The way his leg twisted, and it really is a shame because like Deshaun really never even had a chance to have an Eagles reunion. Yeah. Every single time he was on the field, it wasn't long. He ended up getting injured. So this is ultimately probably going to be Deshaun's last game as an Eagle, for being realistic. I don't see him playing at any point the rest of the season. The way that he was slamming that helmet, that told me he knew.
Yeah.
And
I mean, when football players throw their helmet, it's not a good. That's a really bad time.
Well, someone said it in the chat. It's probably his last game as an Eagle, and I was just thinking, like, yep, that was my first thought. And Mal said it that he really hasn't, and Ev just said it right there. Look, he's never done anything in the few years he's been here, so this sucks. But let's look at the bright side of things. Jalen Reagor will come back after the bye week. So when we see the Giants again, week 10, hopefully Goddard's back, Reagor's back, Miles will be back. Hopefully the line's a little healthier. So let's keep building on this, what we were talking about before the show. Let's get got to win.
We found a legit diamond in the rough, man. Travis Fulgham. Dude. I think that
him, Ward, and Reagor.
That's what I mean. Like Alshon coming back, that'll definitely help. But I am so excited for the rest of the season with Travis Fulgham, man. Like that's the guy that I want to see more of.
I mean, the other guy that we'd love to see more of, but I don't know if his body can allow him to give more. Lane Johnson, man. We've talked about Lane Johnson for weeks now. I feel like it's been a concern of ours about him coming back too soon, about him. Obviously, he's a warrior, but he just it's very concerning the way that he is trying to gut it out, and then he's in and out, and he just doesn't look like himself at this moment. They talked about the cyst that was drained. They talked about him getting that surgery mid-August. And I don't know. I mean, are we having concerns about Lane Johnson making it through the season? Do you honestly think that he makes it through the system or this season, or you have concerns?
Nah, I mean, like the way that obviously Lane Johnson's a warrior, and the only thing that's going to keep him off the field is the fact that he physically can't be on the field, and he knows it. He tries to play through injuries, and the sad thing is that this seems like an injury that he just can't really muster up the strength to go up against. And it's something that I feel like is just going to end up lingering, because the one factor of it just being a tough injury to deal with, and the second factor is he's going to keep on trying to push it, and he's going to keep on, re-aggravating it. And that's one thing I'm worried about.
Shout out to Prime. He his phone must have gave out, but Chad is getting spicy. Said, "Hey,
I don't care. I pay for top internet, and I still get kicked off nonstop. So if you would like to come help me kick the living hell out of the people down at the Service Electric Company, I'd greatly appreciate that."
They said that. They said Prime's phone had Corona.
Jeez.
But
what were we talking about now?
We're talking about this. This is. We were talking about the story of our lives.
That is the story of our lives. We talked about this. I'm very concerned. And like you said, that's kind of his downfall. He's a warrior, but he's gonna do it until he can't go anymore. So he's gonna really hurt himself, and that could be hurting his career. So I was concerned. I thought he should go on IR and just sit out till the bye. I know we need the wins, but look how we deal with this anyway. We need a young kid who knows he's starting, gets his groove. And, obviously Driscoll's hurt now, so you needed to, but sign up.
That's in the chat. Birds, baby.
Yeah, I mean, there's a guy that we drafted. If he can get involved some way, it might come to a point where our arms are twisted and he's getting involved out of, just next man up. But hopefully he's ready.
I mean, the weird thing is like this offensive line, right? It's in and out with this offensive line. Like there's no rhyme or reason like who's going to be starting. Su'Malo could be back soon. That's interesting. I mean, if we're even talking about Brandon Brooks coming back and maybe November.
Doing box jumps already, bro. Like what the hell?
Yeah, I mean,
that man is a fucking cyborg, yo.
Yeah, he's the bionic man, dude.
But I want to show you guys something. When you start looking at the line, and I mean, having consistency between a quarterback and wide receivers is a thing. Having consistency with linemen is a thing. It's also a thing for consistency for running backs and their linemen as a whole. Like running backs knowing where their linemen are going to go. There's tendencies there. I mean, looking at I'm going to bring up the different groups of guys that have been playing. Shout out to Jimmy Kensky, who came up with this chart. Look at the chart here. In May, Andre Dillard, Su'Malo, Kelsey, Brooks, Johnson. Brooks goes down. It's Dillard, Su'Malo, Kelsey, Pryor, Lane Johnson. July, Peters gets signed. It's Dillard, Su'Malo, Kelsey, Peters, Johnson. August, Dillard gets hurt. Now it's Peters at left tackle, Su'Malo, Kelsey, Pryor, Johnson. In August, JP wants money. They flips back to right guard. JP gets his money. Back to LT. Su'Malo, Kelsey, Pryor, Johnson. Week 1, Peters, Su'Malo, Kelsey, Herbig, Driscoll. Week 2, Peters, Su'Malo, Kelsey, Herbig, Johnson. Week 3, Peters, Herbig, Kelsey, Matt Pryor, Johnson. 4 and 5, Mailata, Herbig, Kelsey, Pryor, Johnson. And then week 6, Mailata, Herbig, Kelsey, Jamon, Ugone, Brown, and Jack Driscoll. And then tonight. I mean,
that's more updates than the Call of Duty, man.
Huh?
That's more updates than Call of Duty.
I mean, but at the end of the day, that you have to look at that as a realist and look at that kind of That's adversity right there. That's what adversity looks like. And Carson Wentz, albeit we want him to play all world, we do have to realize that's in front of him. It does have to be there in his mentals when he's thinking about who's blocking for him.
Why isn't that in his mentals when he's holding on to the ball too long? That's this offensive line in front of me is butt ass. I got to get rid of that ball quick.
But even past that though, like that goes to play calling. Why is he in 7-step drops? Yo, why is he in 5-step drops?
I want to see 3-step. Where's the 3-step drop at?
And like shout outs to Jeff Stoutland, yo, because I feel like if we didn't have Stoutland, like we would be screwed, yo. Like what positional coach could work with that group, just switching in and out every week. Like the fact that we even are functional is bananas. But yeah, like the 5 and 7-step drops gotta go, man.
Yep. Simple as that. How do you watch Ben Roethlisberger do it to you? You watch it over and over, and these guys just don't get it, and it pisses me off. Doug Peterson's been pissing me off. All of them, Howie, Jim. I'm still pissed, but I'm trying to take the win in. A win is a win, like everyone says, but there's a lot to break down. So,
and the funny thing about this win is like we talking like we lost, yo.
Exactly. That's what they're doing to us. Damn it.
Y'all. You can't see what my internals look like. Yo, I feel warm, fuzzy. I feel great.
About time, right?
Because for me, I understand the situation at hand. This team is like mangled.
Yeah.
It's mangled. It's right now at this moment. It doesn't look good. The injuries. The team's not healthy. Just to get a W in the worst way, when that was a gut check win. Even it was ugly as hell, but then people talk about Carson Wentz is being clutch. I saw this in the chat. Is that a clutch moment for Carson Wentz?
10th career game-winning drive? Hell yeah.
Yeah. And he needed 2. He needed 2 touchdowns.
Exactly.
It's weird though, because like Eagle fans are like, well, if he just would have played, but he came back in the game.
Look at the lines, guys. What did Gail just show you? You had 6 different lines in 7 weeks.
11, or 12, yeah.
Well, then, if you go back to the preseason, it's ridiculous. Yeah. So it's like, give me a break.
John's always had this fight.
John, you've been drinking a little too much
today. And I like that about John. He's not about the group think. He thinks like, but Rob Johnson is that's wow. Okay.
I've never seen Rob Johnson ever make the plays that Carson Wentz makes. I'm just going to be real with you.
Rob Johnson has some moments. Like, I'm not going to cap. Like, he made some plays in his career, but Carson Wentz is not Rob Johnson. It's like, that's a tough one.
Kinga. He says, Howie's going to make me run into traffic. It's nails on a chalkboard, he says. It's going to be very interesting as we get down close to this trading deadline, where this team looks for players, or there's that report about from Bleacher Report saying that Zach Ertz was being shopped, and that could speak volumes to his attitude that we've seen from Ertz and just the way he was feeling. Could that be a broken heart from Zach Ertz you're seeing out there on the field? I don't know. But at the end of the day, you want to see. You don't want to see players give up on the field. But again, I don't know. He's the guy who said he's wanted to be an Eagle fan for life. I mean, he's been an Eagle player for life. And the fact that he's been being shopped out there, that could be a broken heart, guys.
Well, I mean, they were offering him 12.5 a year last year, and so if you want to be an Eagle for life, you taking 12.5 and you running the rest of the way. That's a fair deal for a dude that is not as multifaceted as a Kittle, not as young as a Kittle, not as multifaceted as a Kelsey. So I hear the words, but then Ertz had that big drop early in the season on 4th down. There are times he's just useless after the catch. In many instances, this man just falls down. Come on. So there are places where if you really feel like you should be compensated more, you give that effort. right? Like that's in anything that you do, not just football. And like, has the effort been there? I can't say that it has. And he really shouldn't be surprised that he's getting shot. Like, he's not putting forth the effort. If the Eagles could get something for him, I absolutely think they should.
So we pre-show. First of all, shout out to Shirley and Barry from the Maybe Next Year documentary. It's going to be that is out currently. If you guys want to go see it out there, that's very interesting. It's getting pretty good reviews out there. I definitely want to see that. But where was I going with that? I think I'm going.
It was a nice shout out though.
No,
Yeah,
but
it was a great time, man. I loved it.
Oh, I think we were talking about buying and selling. That's what I was saying.
Oh yeah.
Pre-game, we were talking about buying and selling. So where are you at now in terms of buying and selling?
It's so hard. Like my gut says sell, but then it's like if you gut this team with Carson Wentz, like you put him in even more dire situations where, you know, his health is on the line and he's playing his heart out. So, I mean, personally, I'm going to just stick with my gut. I say sell. Like, this isn't a very good team. I think that there's some older players being compensated way over their production at this point that, you know, we could potentially move on from, that could get us some draft picks or get us some, like, functional players in return that could maybe give us something right now. So I'll say sell.
Jeff says he's buying.
I'm sure he is, though.
But also, Jeff said, great pre-show, guys. Jeremy says, I think Shirley woke up our Eagles line. Yo, Shirley was on fire, bro. Like, she was insanely, like, I mean, both of them were right, hilarious. But I definitely wanted to make sure you Eagle fans go check out this documentary. It documents the journey of Eagle fans up to winning the Super Bowl, like on the road to victory. Shout out to Jimmy. And definitely want to bring that up and play that for you guys. This is the trailer for Maybe Next Year.
National perception of the Philadelphia sports fan is that they are lunatics.
Animalistic freaks that have a jail inside their stadium.
Philadelphia is a blue-collar city. It's a union city. It's a rough-and-tumble city.
The only thing they've cared about since 1776 is the Philadelphia Eagles.
Eagles Nation, baby.
Being raised up in North Philly, you gotta be hard. Whatever we do, we have to work at it 10 times hard.
Ladies and gentlemen, the soul of the Eagle fan base, Eagles Charlotte.
I love my team. I ride or die for them. But they got to want to do the same thing for us. They got to want to do the same thing for the fans.
I feel your frustration. 60 years in a slump.
Carson Wentz threw 2 touchdowns. The Eagles beat Washington.
They don't have Wentz, they don't win the game.
Absolutely.
Run the motherfucking ball.
Sink run it.
Wentz, he's going to run.
Wentz is out for the season with a torn ACL.
Eagles' Super Bowl dreams ride on their backup quarterback.
Nick Foles is now taking the lead.
They lose one player, and now all of a sudden, they lay down and die.
I believe in my team. It's going to happen soon. Every year, I believe.
A Super Bowl championship in this town is the holy grail.
If I would have to go, I would want it to be during a game.
Did you ever doubt Rocky? Run it! We're the city of underdogs.
Buckle up. This next 30 minutes is going to be something.
You ride it down with your team all the way or no way. You gotta be an Eagle fan for life. Period.
I mean, if you don't get goosebumps there, I mean, there's some mixed reviews about some of the people that were being focused on there, but shout out to, Early, shout out to Barry. Those guys are like crazy. I think I'm gonna go out and see it next week.
Yeah.
They have a drive-in movie theater where you can roll up. It's socially distant.
Right.
You can do your thing in your car and watch the movie. Should be a good time. But after watching that, like right there, sometimes it's about wins and losses, right? Our mentals are based upon wins and losses, and if you stay focused on that, like, yeah, we got a dub. But there are fans right now who are in the chat saying, trade him now, Fletcher Cox, get him out of it. Like, obviously, during a pandemic state, mentals are important. So I'll take this dub and I'll put it in my pocket and I'll hold it there for now, and just hope that this team comes back looking like a real. I'm not gonna even say contender because I'm just hoping they look like
contender for the NFC East.
Yes,
contender, because I mean, right now they look pretender-ish.
Yeah,
Yeah. I mean, like, the only thing that there really is to be excited about this year is getting into the playoffs, which honestly is a very realistic thing. Everyone wants to laugh at the fact that the Eagles, whoever ends up winning the NFC East could probably just win 6 games and they end up winning. The winner of the NFC East is probably going to have a losing record. Yeah, all those things. But the playoffs is the playoffs, man. We get to play more games than the rest of the people in the division. And we've seen some crazy runs. When we look at teams like the Chiefs, do I think the Eagles have any chance to get against a team like the Chiefs? No, not a chance. But it's all about the ride to the playoffs. And it's an exciting time. Who wouldn't? You're, in my opinion, you're not a fan if you don't want the Eagles to want to get to the playoffs. And I don't want players on this roster that don't want to fight to get there.
I think this team gets dangerous, man, as the season goes along because they get more healthy. And so I think that, like, that's the place where kind of on the fence what Gail was talking about before about buying and selling. Like, if this offensive line, say for instance, we get Brandon Brooks back week 16 or 17, and we're like rolling into the playoffs with more healthy people. Rager is able to show something. Fulgham still going hard. We get Ertz and Goddard back, like Sanders. So I definitely agree with Pete Nathan. Like, this team is definitely pretenders. I think that, like, it's tough because Howie hasn't shown the capability to really cash in on draft picks, honestly, no matter where we pick. So even if we ended up sucking and picking high, like, there's no guarantee that we make the right pick anyway. But no, I feel you, Hollywood. Like, I want to see them keep going. I want to see them keep winning. I want to see them upset somebody. Played the Ravens tough, and that was coming in one of the teams that was supposed to be one of the contenders along with the Chiefs. So, like you keep saying, Gail, like, it's tough to win in the NFL, and to get a win is a money thing. So, Hearn's internet keeps booting him. He's losing to that internet for sure.
Now, shout out to Jeremy. Says, if any of you want to throw the season, send me your jersey. Yeah. Got to be like Shirley and be with them through thick and thin. I mean, there's a part of, like, hey, but this is coming right here. Daniel Jeremiah
or Lou Riddick.
Riddick too, yeah.
Riddick, or Lou Riddick, and the fact of the matter about having. People might laugh at those type of scenarios, but Louis Riddick has been involved with the Senior Bowl. He's been, he has the layout of the league. He's been very involved, and that's a part of it. And you look at Mike Mayock, who's a big part of the draft and the Senior Bowl, knowing the league and knowing the ins and outs, talking to all those GMs. It's a part of their job, but the Eagles did offer Daniel Jeremiah some kind of role with the Eagles, and he turned out
worked for us, right? Before
he did previously work for us, but they did offer him some type of role. But that would be interesting.
But bringing someone into the organization that they excel in scouting players, they excel in, like, that's exactly what we need.
Football minded, yeah.
Exactly. Like, obviously, we talk every year about whether
got Pete fired up here.
Hey, Pete,
changing his tune here.
We need guys that can evaluate talent. Not
Pete says that kind of guy could be the best.
We need guys that can evaluate talent and hit on draft picks.
But if they win, all of this goes out the window, right? Like if this team ends up making the playoffs, we probably are bringing back the people that we have right now. So like that's kind of the catch here is that if they do pull this off, then everybody sits back and was like, okay, let's give them more time, right? Like let's see if it could work itself out.
I think they get the pass anyway.
Do you really think so, though? Do you really think that they're going to end up getting a pass if, like, don't you think they're also going to take into account, like, I hear what you're saying in that, like, you know, there's going to be that resiliency of, well, we made it to the playoffs. But the fact of the matter is that it's a trash division and that, like, that can't be overlooked. Like, it was still an awful season.
It's Jeffrey Lurie, though, bruh. And, like, you know, this is the same dude that gave Chip all the power when he showed very little ability to do even coaching. So I think that, like, you know, honestly, because it's Lurie, I think they get a pass. I think he likes Howie Roseman. I think he likes Doug Peterson. I think he trusts that staff. Peterson likes Schwartz. So I think that, again, if they're able to, like, dig this out and end up making the playoffs, and to, you know, Jimmy's point, they probably get a pass no matter what, to be quite honest.
Yeah. I mean,
so close to
they'll be able to lean on the injuries as well, you know?
Exactly. And it's
40 different starters.
Right. Yeah, like we're in a pandemic. Like there are 1,000 excuses for why they should get another crack at it. And they won a Super Bowl.
Though, man. I still think there's a few positions that you could fill up, and we could actually, like you said, if we get healthy,
offensive coordinator.
See, there's so many moves that you could actually make mid-season. So let's not sleep on it. Maybe Howie's thinking this is my last chance. So maybe he makes some moves because he knows he can't draft.
You know, we had.
So if we go around the room here, Jimmy, what is your mid-season move?
Oh my God, I can't stress it enough. I need a damn linebacker, and now it's kind of glaring to me that maybe Will Parks, with a little time, could get better and help out there. He has his struggles, but damn, we needed a second cornerback, man. We need somebody to go out there and help Darius Slay because we started playing. If we would play the Chiefs, I wouldn't. We need to get healthy and start really building on some things. So I would add a linebacker, but honestly. Someone said it in the pre-show. Maybe an offensive lineman because we don't want Carson Wentz to get murdered out here. So a lot of stuff to look at, man. A second running back, right? We talked about that. I'm trying to join the win, Gail. Don't make me.
No, but see, do you see the comment here? It says,
GM.
Hey, I'll take it.
I'm on board.
I'll do it myself.
As long as you hire us, three right here.
I was gonna say you gotta bring us with you, bro.
Yep.
Marcus says Riddick would be awesome. Mal, what would be your mid-season move?
Yo, so Soko was talking about this on Twitter a couple of days ago, maybe a week ago. Pie in the sky, but Levante David from Tampa Bay would be somebody that could like completely legitimize this defense in a way that we haven't been since maybe Jeremiah Trotter. Now, the fact that Tampa Bay is like winning and he's a key cog for their defense, but they also have Devin White, which I feel like might be a reason for them to move on from David. I think with the corners that Jimmy mentioned, I think that's more a Schwartz scheme thing. We see two corners that got cut go on to other teams now, Carolina and Jacksonville respectively, and like play good football. So I think some of this is just scheme and just us playing sticks and just nonsensical bullshit. But yo, if we could figure out a guy like Levante David, who's a perennial All-Pro, I think that like he will really bring 3-down linebacking ability that we haven't seen maybe ever.
Nice.
So I stole that one from Soko. So shouts out Soko. That was definitely you first, bro.
What about you, Oliver?
You know, I've been talking for weeks about saying how badly we need a linebacker, and we do truly need a linebacker. I would love them to trade for one or get one somehow, but the more and more I think about it, I'm thinking about how, you know, Lane Johnson is really unable to stay on the field right now, and we have Jordan Mailata on the other side. Like, we need some depth on the offensive line, like really in the tackle position specifically. And I would not mind if it doesn't even need to be a trade. If we could just go and just get some depth on the offensive line, I would be really happy with that alone.
You mean you don't like Jamon Brown?
Man, that was pretty pitiful. I'm not sure. This highlight actually missed me, but I just saw it today of he was fixing his glove mid-play.
Yeah.
Dude.
Yeah.
Like, are you freaking? Wentz is getting tracked right like 5 yards away from him, and he's sitting there adjusting the glove on his hand. I'm like, bro, get the hell off the
game
field.
too. Yeah.
Yeah.
Now, news flash for you, Jimmy. I don't know if you guys heard during pregame, but the Eagles did work out former Packers linebacker Curtis Bolton. They brought him in a workout for today.
The kicker too, right?
Another just recently. Shout out to Mike K. The Eagles worked out. They have a workout for former Temple's kicker Austin Jones. We'll have a workout this week. So that means again, like we talked about the weirdness about them looking at kickers. If that's messing with Jake Elliott, I don't know what it is. I mean,
he's going to get that much more stressed. And speaking of the Temple theme, Sean Bradley out there again. I mean,
Taylor making plays on special teams.
Or even that you
and
saw
Taylor?
that the Seahawks ended up bringing back Kendricks to their practice squad. Like moves like that for me are what makes certain GMs better clearly than others. Because like Michael Kendricks is a low risk. Like, yeah, he's got an insider trading. You know, he's gonna probably do a little jail time. But until he goes to jail, like he could be playing some football for us. You know what I mean? Like, you know,
Seattle was also talking about bringing in AB. You think he ends up playing this year? AB.
I picked him up in fantasy just in case.
Yeah.
I think Josh Gordon, isn't he there too?
He might be coming back as well.
For reinstatement, yeah. Seattle's gonna be loaded at wide receiver.
Now, if I'm going to make a move, I would definitely think about Lyman, and Todd makes a amount about the guards.
The Bills,
So I mean, that's the kind of thing. Like, and if we're going to talk another former Bill, Cordy Glenn. Like, I'm bringing in. They did have a workout with Cordy Glenn. That was the guy that I was pushing hard, and then the Eagles called like 2 weeks later.
Didn't sign him.
Jason Peters.
We got Jamon Brown.
Yeah, and Jason Peters went to left tackle, so we were good.
I don't know, man.
Unreal.
Kendricks from Minnesota for a fourth.
That's what I was saying earlier, Eric Kendricks. Say your guy, Gail, that we talked about on the phone, man.
You know?
And Minnesota seems like sellers. You know, they just gave up Yannick, so they seem like a team that is trying to get up off a contract. So Eric Kendricks could cover too.
Exactly. That's what I said in the pregame show. I said, hey, if the Vikings are selling, give me Kendricks. I'm all for it, baby. Could you imagine Anthony Barr, though? That'd be a different beast.
Is he hurt?
Yeah, probably. Maybe we could give him Ertz. Hey, here you go. A hurt guy for.
Todd says Julio. Yeah, I mean, it sounds on paper, it would be great to have Julio, but I said
he's old, son.
I'm gonna say it in my black dad voice. You got Julio Jones money, son? Because I don't know if that's if we're trying to be frugal over here. Pete says also Antonio Brown.
Nope.
Don't think Antonio Brown's mentals are where we need to be at around young, talented, young wide receivers on the come up. I don't know.
Ward Prager.
Antonio Brown's going to be like, yo, Ray, you want to come in my Lamborghini? We go out to the club. No, I'm trying to chill, man.
Yeah.
I also don't think he's looking to come to a team with a losing record, at least not one like ours. Like, I think he's looking for like that last shot at something.
Not even think about Antonio Brown. Not even. It would have to be real bad. We have mentioned Calvin Ridley on the pregame show. John Ross was also looking for a trade. I'm not exactly sure what you're looking to give up. Maybe a 6th round for him, 5th round maybe.
Ross.
Yeah, potential. You throwing out there.
Ross would be a lot cheaper than Calvin Ridley.
Well, you also have to
think they trade Calvin Ridley, bro.
No.
Yeah.
I mean, if Deshaun Jackson just went down and he's out for the season, this.
Yeah,
this is where
I think one more game without Rager.
John Ross fits the speed bill for what the Eagles are going for as well, too. So
I mean,
he fits that injury bill too, though, man. Like he spent so much time hurt, bro.
Yeah, I mean, nobody in theory wants John Ross.
No,
but we just lost. If Deshaun Jackson's injury is that bad, again, he's just a vertical threat that could be out on the streets. That's the kind of stuff we're talking about here. Like, as much as we are excited that we got this W, we are past the hour mark. But as much as we're excited about getting the W, us as Eagle fans, we're like thinking about next moves. We're not even in the moment about this W, which is okay, because it's like, all right, we got the W, let's move on. Take time and do the backstroke in this W. Give it.
Enjoy a weekend of stress-free football.
Give it a day. It's Victory Thursday. Take a day to just relax and chill with the dub. Call your Giant friends up tonight. Leave a voicemail. Send a text. Couple emojis, laughing emojis. Do what you got to do. Like, enjoy this W. But before we get out of here, Jimmy, any last words for Eagle fans?
Yeah, man. Like you said, enjoy it. We're just trying to break things down because that's what we do for these lovely people out there. But I'm gonna enjoy it. I'm gonna enjoy this weekend. Like Ev said, you got a nice weekend ahead of you, and then a whole nother week. So you got 10 days to bask in this. Now the Eagles need to get it together. They can enjoy it for a day, but get it together. Got a huge matchup with the Cowboys. Get Miles back. A couple other people. Let's beat these Cowboys. Build on this win here. Get excited for it. It was a divisional win, so you get another divisional win. Get a bye to rest, and then you get the Giants again with even more people back. So everybody try to have a little bit of positivity. Sure, dude, having Shirley and Barry on earlier got me so pumped up. I put on the Deshaun Jackson jersey for him. He got hurt, but I tried to think, okay, 10 for 10 game-winning drives for Carson, right? So Carson, keep building on that, baby. Love to see it. Offensive line, let's just get healthy. Let's go, Birds.
Now, just before I go to Mal real quick, anyone who says Miles Jack in a trade, you got my attention.
Oh,
got my attention, huh? My attention. That'd be nice. I don't know about Ertz, but I mean, it is what it is. If they're trying to move him, I don't know. But I do like Miles Jack.
He's been hurt too.
Mal, any words of wisdom before we get on out of here for Eagle fans?
It's just been a minute, man. Like, I haven't been active since like May, so it's just been good to come back on, connect with you all, talk some Birds.
You on the IR?
Yeah, I'm off the IR, man. I'm good now. Brush some dirt on it, walked it off. I'm good. But nah, man, like you said, enjoy the win. Like, a win is a win in the NFL. This isn't a very good football team, but that could change. We get healthy, we get some trades done. You have no idea what could happen moving forward. Beating Dallas is imperative. Getting healthy on that bye week. Beating the Giants is imperative. Sneaking a couple more wins out. There are some teams on the schedule that we can absolutely beat. Finishing with a win versus the Washington Football Bums. And you never know what could happen. So again, just excited to be back, man. Good to see you fellas, and yeah, man, go Birds.
Evan, Mr. This guy's one of the hardest working men in the industry. The dude's working late at night, comes after his job, and he's back on the pod. You just man some respect.
I appreciate it, Cal. What I want the Eagles to do is put some respect on Travis Fulgham's name, man. I want to see Travis Fulgham involved early and often in game plans here on out. I'm full on board with the Travis Fulgham, breakouts. Make it his first year. Breakout season.
Put some respect on his name. Could you pronounce his name right?
Fulgham.
You said Fulgham.
I did it again. Yeah. See, I don't know why. My mouth just moves that way. But other than that, let's think about this realistically. The Eagles aren't the only ones that are going to face injuries this year. We don't know what injuries lie ahead for the rest of the NFL. There could be some really good teams that get really bad because decimated injuries. You look at the Dallas Cowboys, their season looked like it's donezo, man. They lost Dak Prescott. Obviously we're not sitting here wishing for injuries for anybody, but they're a realistic part of the game. So they're going to happen. You don't know who's going to go down. You don't know which paths to the playoffs are going to open up. So be positive. Bask in this win. And, dude, we got 3 straight divisional games. Talk your shit, bro. We just beat the Giants. Talk your shit. Who gives a shit? We're top of the division right now. You got Giants fans, friends. Talk your shit. And then next week, we're going to be talking our shit to Cowboys fans.
I mean, this is where if I'm going to leave off, this is where you can hang your hat on. It's Dallas week. We're right there. We're right in it for first place in the NFC East. Like, we have an opportunity to seal. Now, I'm not gonna say seal the NFC East, but get a move on this NFC East. That's a chunk of the NFC East schedule. We've already played Washington. That'll be the Giants twice, and the Cowboys, and then it is what it is. And right now for us as a team, I'm not on the payroll, but as a team, as Eagles Nation, it's a week-to-week business right now. It's Dallas week. If you're not hyped for Dallas week, are you really an Eagle fan? It's an opportunity to talk your shit, like Evan said, talk your shit to the Giants fans, because you can. Your team won. My head lawyer at my job was talking shit on the Zoom call in front of my whole legal team, and
let him have it.
I'm gonna let him have it. I'm gonna put everyone on CC. You know what I'm saying? So have fun in the moment. It's Dallas week. That's an opportunity to get a big W. They're dealing with injuries. We're dealing with injuries. Tons of teams are dealing with injuries. We don't know what the avenue is going to look like to get to the playoffs. We've seen COVID take out tons of players. We don't know what's going to happen. But at the end of the day, we have Eagles football to distract us from the everyday pandemic and the hustle and bustle of life. Enjoy the W. And as always, check in on your peoples. Mental health is very important. Call your peoples, because they will not tell you there's something wrong. You have to be proactive. And for Evan and Jimmy and Mal, who disappeared because of his internet, fly Eagles fly, and we'll see you guys in the next one.